What's up, everybody? It's Wolfgang with Dorkfish and Dorkfish Reviews, and I'm back with another Dorkfish review. And today we are looking at the Beast Deities Fenrir, aka Beast Deities Broly. This is a bad boy, and he is so worth it to me. Now, guys, I want to put a disclaimer. It's been about, I think, 4 to 5 years since I've done a review. A lot going on. But the last time I reviewed an SH Figure Arts figure or a Dragon Ball Z figure, it was Broly. That was about 5 years ago. Broly is my favorite Dragon Ball Z character, bar none. And so I am so happy to have this figure. It is an amazing figure, and I'm gonna get into why. There are some things we need to talk about that are not perfect on it, but overall, I think this is very, very, very worth it. So we're gonna get into it. First things first, guys, we're gonna get into the aesthetic of the figure. This thing is sculpted, painted beautifully. So guys, if you look up and down, great musculature, great build, very proportionate, something that's different from the SH Figure Arts one, which I don't have here to compare at the moment, is the difference in musculature, how proportionate this one is in size. Depending on the frames that you look at, I went back and rewatched the Broly movies here recently, and depending on the frames you're looking at, yeah, you can see what SH Figure Arts 1 is a little more stylized, but going for certain frames of the film. Whereas when you look at Broly overall in the film, this is more proportionately correct, and I love it. I love the look. He's got some awesome shading, so we're gonna step in here and show you. We got some awesome shading. In fact, actually, I'm gonna zoom in to show you. Pardon that zoom. But if you look across the body, so look across his abdomen section, I'm gonna bring that in just a touch. Now, the only thing that's weird about it is the orange, and I've seen a lot of other reviewers say the same thing, the orange across the rib cage on that breakup part right here. Not a fan of that personally as well, but across the rest of the body, if you look at like the biceps, you look at all the arming, if you look at all the arms section, there's a good deal of shading in and around that, as well as the chest. There's shading in the pants. I'm just gonna make some adjustments here and go up and down and look at it. There's shading all the way across the body, even the hair. So give me a second. I'm working with a new tripod, a new camera. So, but if you look, it is very beautiful, very well shaded all the way down. And it's no different in the back. Let me just spin this bad boy around for you. They got it all the way around the back as well. We'll get that center for you. Oh, there we go. Look at that. I like how everything lines up. I like the musculature. I like the way that the shading is done on it. And because it lends itself so well to that, you're getting a lot of really, really good posing out of him. Things are gonna look very stout and proportionate when you pose him. You just get this set right quick, and I'm gonna pull it back out. So overall, I'm very, very, very pleased with the shading, the look. Everything's really well done. I'm not sure aesthetically if I like the flaps across, but there's really not more you could do with that because of the nature of the item without going cloth. So as it being rubber as it is, pretty happy with it still nonetheless. I think aesthetically, I love the fact that the little beads across the gold are individual plastic, so that they're not painted over. They get that gloss and that hollow in it up close. I've always had a weird thing about wrist peg joints. I just don't like them showing, but even this is not that egregious. Even the cuts in the body and areas are not that bad. So overall, I really, really like it. I think overall they did an amazing job aesthetically. Other than, you know, some minor things here and there, I would say it's really probably aesthetically one of the best Dragon Ball Z figures point blank out there. So definitely suggest it from a look standpoint, definitely. But let's go ahead and get into the articulation now. All right, so he has a double ball peg head, and the toy actually comes with 2 ball pegs to change in and out. I think the other one is slightly bigger, but I have seen customizers doing a specialty ball peg that sits the head up a little higher, a little better. Personally, I kind of like the brutish, stockier look, but either way, if you want to get a little more range out of his head, you're going to want to get that ball peg. You can get on eBay. I think it's like a $3 piece. It's really not that expensive. But that being said, with what we've got on him now, His head goes down that far. Goes up about that far, that's about it. It's a little tough, a little tight, but you can turn the head about that far, get a little bit of rotation, and with the neck you can get a little more. So you've got a neck joint in there, and that neck gives you so much more lean. So now you can see he looks so much lower with the neck. Pull that neck back, but that's really all you can do with the hair back here. So you can't really pull it back further. Your joint, your diaphragm, you got two diaphragm portions. This uppercut, let's see if I can get it to move for you. You don't have, whoop, see, that is the big thing. It is on a ball peg, so that's fine. It's not gonna break, but that's the big thing, is getting it back on there right quick. There we go. Back on. All right, sorry, took a second, got that back on. But you see, there's really not as much. You get a little more side to side out of that diaphragm piece, and you get your rotation. There's not a lot of front to back in it. You're gonna make up with that in the bottom half of the diaphragm. That's gonna get you some crunch forward, not a lot, some crunch back. It's really, if you look, not a lot of crunch back. At least for mine, not a lot of crunch forward. Maybe some customizers are getting some better crunch out of it than me. Side to side play. Shoulders, so you've got your butterfly joints in there, as you can see. And there, gets a good little wobble, good little rotation, just to see that from the front. Good little wobble and rotation. All right, so then you've got your T-pose. You get pretty decent with that, all things considering for how big he is. You go full 360 on that. You got your elbow, about 90 degrees, not amazing, but he's a bigger guy, so you probably aren't gonna get a lot out of him, but it's okay. You've got your full bicep turn. You've got obviously your wrist peg, and you got your wrist joint, so it's a ball wrist joint, so it hinges up and down, or it's a ball hinge, I should say, sorry. But it hinges up and down, you got your full rotation. Hands hold onto it pretty tight, so when you turn that, I don't know if you can see it, let me just zoom in so you can see this on that wrist. But if you look, you see the hinge in there turns, the hands are tight enough that it actually turns the hinge with it. So something to look at there. So just know when you're putting it on, that you will have to put the hand on whichever way you want it. So the cupping hands or different hands that would come with points, pieces you want to have it set where if you want to rotate it up, you're going to want to set the hand a certain way on there. That being said, you've got, I mean, he can get pretty far up. I mean, that's pretty good, considering that none of the other Dragon Ball Z figures are going to be on that scale with him. He can split most of the way out, which you should expect with these figures. His knee joint, pretty good. Look at that. And I do like that they kept the sculpting for the most part in the knees. Love that. You've got what I believe is a ball hinge, I think, and you've got a little cover piece. When I talk about the aesthetics, I love the cover piece over the ankles. But you've got a ball hinge, you've got a toe joint, so you can get a little bit of range. But really, again, doesn't need a lot of range for something like that. It holds really well. So the one thing I'll say about the joints, they can be a little stiff, but they hold very well. So very happy with that. So overall articulation, there's some spots that are kind of a little limited, and it is what it is. But that being said, there's still a lot of good things about him, and for his scale and what he is, what he's supposed to be. You don't need him to do the most nimble things. He doesn't need to be Spider-Man, but he does have some things going on that are fantastic. So very much so worth it in terms of posability for what you need him to be. All right, let's go ahead and get into the accessories, guys. Accessory-wise, we've got things like Fenrir's head, which he comes with standard in the package. It comes on him standard. And then Fenrir does have some hands. Let's get that there. And they've got some nice black painting on the fingernails, nice claws. He's got two hands like that. He also comes with two explosive or two power effects and hands that peg into them. So if you look, you can see that peg right there on that hand. Boom, boom. Beautiful, clear effect. It's got that peg and it pops on and off very simply like such. So see, it's pegs right on, and then whoop, pegs right on and off like that. So fantastic piece. He's got two of them, one for each hand. He does have 4 different faces, a smiling face, which I have on him. Then you have the screaming face. Just get that right there in focus. Boom. He does have a smiling face, or a grinning face, I should say. He's got a smiling face on. Get that in focus. Look at that. Beautifully done. And then he's got his kind of stoic, kind of stone face. Now I want to point out something right quick. On the ears, you see these earrings. It comes with a piece and you pop the earrings off and you put them on. I'm not complaining about it because I like the fact that they're loose. It kind of gives it an actual jewelry effect. So some people kind of found it annoying. I liked it. I didn't think it was too hard to do. So just a heads up on that. But that being said, you do have his folded arms piece. Look at how beautifully that's done. I love the glowing blue pieces of the jewels in the bracelets. And then you've got another array of hands. So you've got this hand in particular, which is a pretty cool one. It's holding Goku's hair. I'm pretty sure it's Goku's hair is who it's supposed to be holding. It looks like it the way it's folded down. I'm not certain what figure it goes to. I'm sure it's probably another Beast Deities figure. But I don't know. I'll have to do some research on that one. You can let me know below. You got two different hands like this, kind of gripping-esque power hands, two open key hands like this, left and right. Obviously, the fisted hands right here. And to change his face, it's pretty easy. There's a plate for the hair, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Just to show you. Now it is very pointy, so be very careful. But you'd pop that off right here, and then you'd have your face slot right there, which you can pop it in and off. And then when you're done, you slot it in, pop this back on, boom, and there you go. You got your face swap. Now there's one more thing I didn't point out. I'm gonna go ahead and go over right quick, and that is Fenrir's, pardon my hand, Fenrir's jacket covering that has two arm slots in it. It's kind of tough without just putting it on him, but it's an okay piece. It'll do. If you want to use it for customizing, that's great. I do some customizing, so maybe I'll use it for something. We'll figure it out. But and the last thing, I did say he does come with two neck pegs. I don't know if this one is particularly bigger than the one that's already on him. So I will have to toy with that and figure it out. But like I said, I kind of already like the look where it's kind of a little chunkier, a little shorter neck, a little stockier. So I gotta be honest, I didn't really chase the bigger neck pegs. Some people did. It's up to you. It's just down to preference, whatever you prefer. All right, so in size comparison, we've got him next to our Jada Toys Ryu, our NECA Nosferatu. Let me get them out of the frame right quick. And then we also have our Marvel Legends Destroyer. And our McFarlane Toys Swamp Thing. To me, the best Swamp Thing that's ever been made. Personally, get him standing. Boom, and just look at the size comparison. Swamp Thing is massive compared to him, but he is a big boy standing just a little bit above the Destroyer, just above, maybe before the hair, just at the hairline to the head. So Broly's a big piece. I think he comes in at about 10.5, 10 3/4 inches. So he's a huge action figure, guys. He look great in terms of size comparison to a lot of our figures. Like I said, next to Diamond Select Hulk, the Storm Collectibles, Doomsday from Injustice. There's a lot of really good, big, beefier figures you can pose him with. He's such a great figure. So guys, to be honest, I'm gonna suggest him. I think that he's well worth it. If you're a Villains guy, if you're a Dragon Ball Z guy, if you're a Broly guy, no matter what, he is gonna be, for now or in the foreseeable future, the definitive Broly action figure. Secondary market right now, I think, is between 180 and 200 on this figure. So just, be aware, you're gonna pay a nice chunk of change for this one and some of the other versions. And man, get them while you can, because this is an amazing figure and so worth it. But I'm gonna end the video here. I appreciate you watching. If you've been watching, go back and watch some of my old videos, please. Leave a like, leave a comment, share with everybody, and just watch out because I have more videos coming. This has been Wolfgang. I thank you so much, and you have a killer day.